Well, I didn't get this paper and framed like I hoped I would. Anyway, I was just trying to do a shot that showed, some of the different paper that I have. I get most of my paper from Goodwill. And anyway, I can get it much cheaper. This ream of black paper was probably $3.25, and that would have cost me 17 at Michael's. So anyway, I kind of knew I was doing a black background, and I'm going to do a silver mountain scape. And right now I'm just picking, just looking for that paper that says mountain to me. I used to not take so much care and concern about my materials, and just kind of allowed imperfections to find its way through the whole piece. Sometimes now I do take concern, and I do look and make sure that I have a piece of paper that is pristine to the best of my ability. So here I'll cut off a little bit of that torn edge, and this knife here, in a certain way, is a very good knife for cutting paper. Anyway, I use this bar top, and I have just a single light, and then my GoPro. I have my little phone set to just be able to push the button, and it'll make everything record. So anyway, I'm using this double-sided tape. I kind of saved this double-sided tape from being in the trash. It has a few pieces left, just this size. Works perfect on my dry erase marker board, and I can paint. Okay, I picked up this tool from the ground at Lowe's. Thought I'd use it for something, and here we are. We're going to make some mountain peaks. What I'm trying to do here is just make some triangles. I think I decided on 3 peaks of mountains for this. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing that this tool does not hold very much paint, and I wanted it to hold quite a bit more. One problem is that I'm using inks actually instead of paint. This white iridescent that I'm using, silver iridescent, is really good, but I can't get it to flow in a pen or here really, but it mixes well and it paints really nice, and so I usually use it like paint. Recently I have been doing a lot of like iridescence, kind of a lipsticky kind of pink sparkle and blue sparkles, and it's really sparkly. I'm gonna call it the lipstick series, but I'm gonna run with it for a little while. I enjoy working with the medium. I enjoy that it takes color pretty good, and in certain lights it is pure silver, and then in other lights it has this amazing amount of color to it. So in this light you can see really well that it has that it takes color, but then you put it in sunlight and it's almost completely silver. The colors kind of wash out. But these are just Bombay inks, and again, with that iridescent base. Here I'm just trying to add dimension to it. I'll experiment. I only really had 2 brushes when I started this project, and have been using different techniques instead of different brushes to get the desired effect. And for me to re-investigate that is a part of painting, is a single color sometimes. You don't have to have a variety of colors. You can use a single paintbrush to do a whole picture and things like that. And that's a good technique to learn whatever you're trying to learn. Things are really kind of taking shape now. Trying to fill in the blanks. Most of my artwork is in some ways controlled chaos. It's about responding to whatever the limitation may be. Again, I only have 2 brushes to make this with, and I only have 4 colors. I have the black, the red, the blue, and then the iridescent. And so I've got to make a dimensional picture, so to speak. I've really kind of tried to figure out what I think that this technique or this style is. I feel like I gain inspiration from, Asian sources and try to make my clouds and my water or whatever with that kind of, I don't know, cartoony feel to it, that not realism, but, kind of surreal, I guess. Okay, here's the peace, the Chinese for peace. At least one of them. It looks like a tree to me. And anyway, so it's going on this. But this is all for an envelope. It's like I told my father the other day, I was like, this is a pretty good painting, but it's the most beautiful envelope you've ever seen. And so that's kind of the ideal. Right here, I'm just making some stars and trying to figure out what I want those to look like. I had originally the idea that I wanted the stars to remain very silvery, and anyway, you'll see how I ended up on these. But right now, just trying to make something. I think I think I'm almost done for tonight's work on this. And turn them into little crosses. But when working with these paints like this, I really have to be mindful that I don't just stick my hand in it and smash. Yeah, see, this is the end of the night. And I thought, well, I might leave it here and just go with the ink. Anyway, do you know how to write a love letter? This is what you write. They'll know. Anyway, so I got some new brushes at the Hillcrest thrift store. 25 and 50 cents, but might help me get the images that I want. So, this point of view is pretty good. Maybe I could do better with lighting, but trying to figure these things out is difficult for me, because it's like I can almost always see some way to improve it immediately or whatever. Okay, so what I'm doing here is really just adding layers. Okay, and layer after layer after layer works really good with these kinds of materials, and it just adds depth. You just see the pink, and then into the blues, and into the pinks, and into the blues, and clouds. I really like this style of clouds that I do. here. But most of it's just experimenting with, different, techniques and different amounts of paint in the brush. But, again, just everything is layers and trying to create highs and low points, brights and lows. But I want the whole thing to be really bright and cheerful at the end. When I do the pencil work or the pen work later, then I can add the details that I can't add now. And, there I jumped a bunch of pink on there. But, when you're face to face with it, it is not that dark of a pink. It's just at certain lights you see these colors, and then another angle you'll see silver. So the depth of color that you see may not be what I'm looking at on the other side. You can tell there's quite a rose tint, though, to the piece, the word piece, the Chinese version. But it has a nice little pink glow to it. Again, I'm going to do quite a few of these iridescents on black. I have some copper color and some gold, and along with the silver, and I will do some different experiments and see about trying to record some of them, just a craft experiment for myself and anybody else who's willing to go along. I really want to try to make these short, although I think that if I had another person involved and they could say, well, most of these clips, if you slow them down to their normal speed, are probably double or 3 times as fast as it should be, based in real life. But these are all sped up. Some of the clips I probably shouldn't speed up so much, and then some of them I should speed up a little faster. Anyway, as I get experience, and I'll get better at this and figuring that out. But if this video went its full length and speed, then it definitely would take 45 minutes or better worth of video here to finish this painting. And that, and those are just small 1 minute 25 second clips or 2 minute clips turned down to 90 seconds or even less. Here I decided I was going to make those into fireflies, or that's kind of what they turned out to be, but I just wanted star rays, and then all of a sudden they turned into lightning bugs or something. Anyway, let's talk about a love letter and what that means. And I often think about, people sometimes do some nice things for you or something, and just to give them a letter that you took this kind of time and effort to put into it, and used it for your own well-being by expressing some of your artistic energy. For me, the creative energy is about different channels, and the more artistic energy I express, then the more available artistic energy there is. For me, art has been such a part of my life. Always working on some kind of art. So I have to be mindful when I say when I do this. I'm not normally that thoughtful. But I really love the evolution that these love letters have taken. I think they're a unique idea. I think about these sitting under the Christmas tree or sitting on a mantle at Christmas time when somebody wants to give a gift of money, even, or a love letter, you know. So I'm getting into the finish of part one. This is going to be part one for YouTube, and we're now probably into part three for Facebook because they require the file to be small. Anyway, working on the clouds here. Again, I really love doing them. Maybe that's the thing that I like about them is trying to get clouds to look like clouds, even though they're just an impression of a cloud, really. And so I have fun with that. I enjoy the blending of colors. I'll admit I really like lipstick colors a lot and don't mind saying that. I'm a very masculine man. But these colors are fun and I'm enjoying working with them. Here we go. This is what it looks like. And tomorrow we'll begin the pen work. I wanted to get a close-up of the fireflies there and everything. And you kind of get an idea. I got really heavy on the mountains with the pencil.